breaking news coming in at the top of the bulletin. This concerning our top international story, that is Vladimir Putin's move to annex 4 regions of Russia. Now, after Russia formally annexed those 4 regions of Ukraine, which are the Luhansk region and the Donetsk region, which are now part of the Russian Federation, Kherson and Zaporizhzhia have become independent territories. That is the declaration which came in from Vladimir Putin. Now, Vladimir Putin has said that the West containment conspiracy has been foiled by the Russian Federation. Remember, referendums took place in the 4 regions on Tuesday. Moscow-backed local officials claimed residents overwhelmingly voted in favor of joining Russia, which is being touted as a sham by the West. Putin said that people have made their choice clear, calling it the will of millions. The United Nations has said the annexations have no place in the modern world, but this follows Russia's pattern of hostile takeovers, as the same thing happened in Crimea in 2014.
Spiritual ties was passed through generations. People brought through years this feeling to Russia, and nobody can destroy this feeling. This is why older people and young people, those who were born after the collapse of the Soviet Union, voted for our joint future in 1991 in Beloversk Pushcha. The representatives of the party elites made a decision, and people ended up torn apart. It became a national catastrophe, same as some time ago after the revolution. The republics were cut artificially.
Breaking news coming in, and this is the diplomatic fallout of Putin's move. Now, the United States has announced severe new sanctions against Russian officials and the defense industry in Russia. The Biden administration says the G7 will impose costs on any country supporting Russia's annexation attempts. NATO Secretary General has also said the referendums were engineered in Moscow and imposed on Ukraine in total violation of international law. The land grab is illegal and illegitimate. That's the pitch coming in from NATO as well. I'm joined by my colleague Abhishek Jha to get more when it comes to this entire diplomatic firestorm that has been created by Putin's move. Abhishek, these statements coming in from the Western powers, we've heard these before, but do you feel that the Western response to Russia has been hamstrung by the fact that a majority of the G7 nations depend on Russian energy?
Of course, the Russian energy supplies to Europe has been one big roadblock in a unified response to Russia's aggression towards Ukraine, because the European countries, they have their own energy interests, and with the upcoming winter and the prices of energy soaring by almost 100% in many parts of Europe, this has been a domestic issue as well, and hence they have not been able to put that collective fight against Russia with Ukraine that could have come as a force of NATO allies. Meanwhile, the latest slew of measures that the European nations or European Council have announced are going to have more restrictions, sanctions on individuals, Russian entities, and Russia as a country. But will these be able to help Ukraine take those states or those regions which Russia has now called a larger part of Russia? That remains a big question. How Ukraine or how Kyiv is going to reclaim those lost territories of Zaporizhzhia, Luhansk, Donetsk, and Kherson from the Russian forces, that will always remain a issue, because Russia has now claimed sovereignty on this region, and they have said that any attempt on these region will be taken as a breach of sovereignty to Russia.
Right. Thank you, Abhishek, for joining us on the broadcast with that piece of breaking news. More breaking news.